everybody. Look who's here this morning. It's little Scruffy. And I'm happy to say that little Scruffy is looking not so scruffy. He's actually growing some new feathers. Look at the top of his head. Look at that. He's getting a yellow crest. I'll put some seed over here so that you can see him. The light's not wonderful. The sun's behind a tree over there. Hello, Scruffs. You're going to have some seed. But yeah, look at the top of his head. He's got new feathers growing. Haven't you, Scruffs? And he's got a little crest happening. You're going to put your crest up? There you go. Look at that. Look at those yellow feathers popping through. There you go. You can have some seed. There you go. It's all right. Oh, what are you hissing at me for? The dog's bothering you, are they? Dogs are just down there as usual, looking up at the birds. Don't you like my camera? Alright, look, I'll put your food over here in the bowl for you. I'll empty out this old food and try not to let it fall on the dogs down there. Sometimes I tip this out and seed all falls on top of the dogs. Oops! Got a few dogs. Alright. Are you going to come and say hello now, are you? There you go. No, you don't want to. What's the matter? Sometimes he's really friendly, and then other days like this he's just a bit standoffish. There you go. It's okay. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? But yeah, he's growing new feathers, which is great. Alright, I'll pop your seed up here for you, okay? And you can eat in peace. There you go. Enjoy, Scruffs. So a lot of people ask me how Scruffy's doing, and yeah, he's doing well, aren't you? Eating well makes a difference, doesn't it? All right, I'll see you later. G'day guys, welcome back. Having another little play with my new gold, my Sargent's metallic gold. And I also got in the mail last week my GAC 800. So I thought I'll have a go at it. I bought a big one just because it was cheaper buying a big one. Postage was quite expensive, but I'm only using a tiny little bit of it, only 10%. So do you remember when I had 60% glue, 30% water and 10% Floetrol? Well, I'm just swapping this for the 10% Floetrol just to see how it goes. I don't know, a lot of people are using it and I've never tried it. So I thought I'd give it a go. I don't really know that 10% is going to make much of a difference, but we'll see. So I've got some blue, some gold and some black. Haven't got as much black as I have these two, probably about half the amount of black. And I'm going to put some treadmill silicone oil just in the blue and the black. So I'll do 3 in here because it's a fuller cup, and that one can just have 2. I'm not going to put any in the gold. I have a theory that putting the silicone in the gold or in the metallics is kind of making these wormy sorts of creations, I guess, in the pour. Maybe the silicone's not being mixed in, like it won't absorb into it properly or blend into it. So when you flip it out, the silicone's still in a big drop, and then when you drag it, that silicone oil stretches out and becomes this big worm. So that's been happening to me with the gold. So I'm not going to put any oil in it and just see what happens. No doubt the oil will go into it anyway. It'll blend in there, but I'm not going to put any oil directly in it. So good layer of the gold, good layer of the blue, little bit of the black. As I said, I've only got about half the amount of black because I don't want it to take over and be a really dark sort of muddy looking painting. I'd rather it be a bit on the brighter side. Because black can do that, can't it? It's quite strong. It can really take over a pour, even if with the smallest amount. So 3 layers here, I think will be plenty. So this is a 25 centimetre round that I'm using. I think that'll be enough. I'll at least keep the rest of it aside. 25 centimetre round, just covered. It's an old painting that wasn't happy with. I think I've poured over it a couple of times already, so it looks a bit weird. Right, I have Cool Blue from Global and some black by Global, and then my Sargent's Gold Metallic. Righty-o. Oh, I should have flipped this over, shouldn't I, while I'm talking to you? Well, it's a bit sticky because I've just scraped. Yes, I scrape. I scrape quite a lot actually, because I like to try different things and experiment, and if I'm not totally happy with something, I'd rather not keep it. I'd rather just scrape it and go again. It's just paint. I can use the surface again, whether it's canvas or one of these little timber placemats. I'd rather just go again. I don't like keeping things I'm not happy with. Okay, give that a second. I didn't spray the cup this time. Righty-o, let's do it. Okay, those are pretty colours, aren't they? A little bit left in that cup. I didn't want to have it sort of dripping out and making that weird little roundish pattern that it does there, so I've just left a little bit in there. Plenty of paint on the surface there. Probably didn't even need that much. If you've got too much paint on the surface, then you can't stretch it and have your cells grow. Righto, let's do some torching. Just see how that goes. Give that a minute. Been getting some of these blurry looking cells. I thought it was the light blue that I was using. I took out the light blue, but there's still one there. Metallics do that though, you know. If you haven't got your metallic consistency just right, it does all kinds of weird things. It makes your cells all wobbly. Too thin and your cells are all wobbly. Too thick and they're kind of grainy and hazy looking. Just going to give that a minute for the oil to come up and the cells to develop. I might get a few more just in the middle there if I can, without getting too many others up. It's tricky though because the torch is so big, so you sort of aim for that area, but then you sort of get over here as well. So the Cool Blue throws like a purpley tone. I don't know if you can see that there. It looks more purple up here. Where it's mixing in with the gold, it's throwing a sort of a purpley hue. And then over here it's more blue. And then we're getting that slightly greenish look because, you know, blue and yellow make green. And gold is sort of a yellowy colour. So we're going to get a bit of a greeny hue, but that's okay. I don't mind that at all. Alrighty. Let's start stretching this out. Normally I go in a big circle. I wonder what it's like if I go that way and then back and then that way and then back. We'll try it. Just over the edge. And back to the middle. Just got this little plastic container here that my placemat's sitting on. Back into the center again before I change direction. See, these look quite purple, don't they? They just look like plain purple cells. Oh, I don't really want to lose you. You're really pretty. I have to cover that side though. Okay, back into the middle. I don't know if I like back into the middle each time or whether I just like to continue on my circle. We'll see. See what happens. Off to that side now. So now the thing is, I like to continue it round because I don't really want to have to move it again into the middle. But I will. Said I was going to, so I will. Take it back into the middle a little bit. And then change direction. Go to this last little side here. Keep some of those black cells because they're really pretty. Aren't those colours amazing? This shading here of the blue against the gold. Wow. It's so pretty, isn't it? It's given that sort of aquamarine look. I kind of want to get that bit off there, so bring it back to the middle. And just take off a little bit of that because it's a bit plain down there. Come back. Do I want any more off that side while I'm there? Maybe just a touch. Oh, no. No. But I would like the gold ones to stretch a little bit more. So yeah, it's going off just a touch to there. That'll do. It's kind of scented everything a bit more, hasn't it? What do you think of that? That's quite pretty, isn't it? I like that. I don't see any difference with the GAC. Although people say you get these double cells, so there's a couple of double cells. Is that the GAC that's doing that? There's a triple cell. But as far as the clarity of the cells, the rings around the cells, I don't see any difference. But it's my first experiment with it, so I can't really judge just yet. I would have to use it a little bit more. But it certainly hasn't, it doesn't have a negative impact on my pour, that's for sure. Like, it's really pretty. You know, look at that shading. It's just gorgeous. But when it dries, this gold hopefully will be a bit more shiny. Got these beautiful gold cells here. We've got the blue cells here. We've got the more pale cells here. They're really pretty. These ones have got gold rings around them. Over here, these blue ones, they don't really have rings around them, which is a shame. I do like my cells to have rings around them, but those don't. These black ones have got gold rings around them. I'll get these gloves off and take you in for a close-up. I would like the cells to be a little bit bigger. The gold ones in particular, I wouldn't mind them being just a little bit bigger. But, you know, if you're, like I always say, if you are 70% happy with it, leave it. Because the more you play with it, then you'll end up being 30% happy with it and 70% unhappy with it because you've fiddled with it and over-tilted. Alright, let's take you down for a close-up. It's prettier. I'm trying to get that mess away from the bottom so you don't see the mess. Oh dear. Look at those cells. That's a better colour. It's more realistic like that. It's got that bright spotlight on it. So I've just turned the colour down a little bit on my screen. So that's more realistic. Look at that turquoise, the shades of turquoise we're getting through. It's just beautiful. And that's just 3 colours, gold, blue and black. We're getting all these different shades of colours. So pretty. So these are nice down here, sure, but those, look at those. They're so good. It's because of the gold. And see those dark ones on the right there? The black cells with the gold ring. That's what you want. And that's because the black is opaque and the gold is semi-opaque. That's why you get the rings. Over here, excuse me, over here the blue is semi-opaque, the gold is semi-opaque. So nothing really happening there with the cells, no rings. So you really need your opaques and your semi-opaques or semi-transparents to create those rings. Alrighty, I'll leave it there. Hope you've enjoyed that video. And I have still got quite a lot of the mix made up with the GAC in it, so I made a litre of it, so I'll use it all up. And I'll see you for the next pour. Bye for now.